been trying for a baby ever since we got married, and the news of not just one, but two little ones on the way felt like a dream come true. Mike insisted on having a family get-together where he would announce my pregnancy even though I wanted something low-key. I understood his excitement of becoming a father, so I agreed. When Mike and I announced I was pregnant during the party, everyone immediately came over to hug us and congratulate us. However, Sil and Mill looked pissed and stared daggers at me. For context, Kayla got married before us, so she has been trying to get pregnant for a long time. However, I have heard from Mike that she is infertile and basically barren. She and her husband Joe have tried everything but to no success. Mike, Joe, and Phil have tried to convince Sil to adopt if she wants children so much, but Kayla refuses to listen. She says she doesn't want to raise a kid from the streets. So I guess she wasn't happy when she found out that I had gotten pregnant. I was aware of Sil's personal issue, and it was also one of the reasons why I didn't want to make the announcement in front of everyone, because regardless of my equation with her, I did sympathize as a woman for her condition. When Mike's relatives started to ask about the baby shower and if we knew the baby's gender and such, Kayla burst out crying in front of everyone. She rushed into the washroom and locked herself there. As you can imagine, everyone's mood immediately soured. Mike and Mill begged her to open the door, but Kayla refused. After 30 minutes of them begging, Kayla came out with red puffy eyes. She looked at me directly and told me that I should have talked to her first before making the announcement, since she couldn't have a child of her own. I tried explaining to her that I never intended to make her feel bad, but she ignored me and walked out of the party with Joe. Mill later chastised me about how selfish I am and how I always make everything about me without caring about other people's feelings. After the party, Mike did apologize to me and assured me that he would talk to Mill and Kayla and make sure that they would know that this was all his idea, and he never thought that our announcement would hurt his sister so much. I still felt bad about Kayla, but my husband assured me that it wasn't my fault at all. The next weekend, when he went to his parents' place for dinner, I stayed behind as usual since I wanted nothing to do with his family conversations. I have no idea what they talked about, but Mike came back home telling me how he had ended up apologizing to Kayla since she was really hurt about everything. He recounted how Kayla had shared the emotional toll of her struggles, detailing the countless medical tests and sleepless nights spent in tears for years. As he spoke, I couldn't help but feel a pang of guilt. Despite the tensions between us, Kayla was still family, and the thought of her suffering weighed heavily on my conscience. I realized that beneath the facade of resentment and animosity, there was a woman who was hurting and in need of compassion. Mike told me how I should reach out to her, and I agreed. I messaged Kayla and apologized to her for not giving her a heads up about my pregnancy before the party. I told her that I wanted to resolve things between us before my twins were born so that we could start fresh as a family. To my surprise, Kayla responded with unexpected warmth and understanding. She thanked me for reaching out and acknowledged her own role in the strained relationship between us. She expressed her genuine happiness for my pregnancy and reassured me that she wanted nothing more than to mend our relationship and be supportive during this special time. Kayla offered to throw a baby shower for me when the time came, telling me how she has never had a chance to do it for anyone, so she would love to organize one for me. I graciously agreed. In the months leading up to the baby shower, I noticed that both Kayla and my mother-in-law were unusually kind and sweet to me. They would regularly call me asking about my health and send me flowers with cards that said, "Hope Ma'am Bear is feeling okay," or "Can't wait to see the twins." It was definitely surprising and a bit unsettling because, up until that point, our relationship had been strained, to say the least. Suddenly, both Kayla and my mother-in-law were acting completely out of character, showering me with love. It felt like a sudden shift, and I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that accompanied it. However, I thought maybe they were making an effort to mend things between us before the twins were born. I never imagined there could be anything sinister behind it. Despite my suspicions, I tried to remain optimistic and hope that maybe we were turning a new leaf as a family. Mike continued to visit his family for dinner every weekend, and everything seemed fine on the surface. On the day of my baby shower, I was surprised to see that Kayla had actually listened to all my suggestions and kept them in mind while organizing the event. The event was everything I had hoped for and more, with friends and family gathered to celebrate the imminent arrival of our twins. Unlike typical baby showers, the men of the family were invited to the event also. Phil had brought multiple gifts for the twins. We were all having a lot of fun and playing baby shower games. Throughout the afternoon, Kayla was polite while engaging with the guests and ensuring that everything ran smoothly. During the middle of one of our games, I had to excuse myself to go to the washroom. After I finished my deed, I was just coming out of the washroom when I heard my husband and Mill furiously arguing in the hallway in hushed tones. Curiosity piqued, I paused for a moment, straining to hear their words. They didn't know I was listening. At first, I thought it was just innocent chatter, maybe about baby names or nursery decor. But as I listened closer, my heart sank. Mill was asking my husband if he had a conversation with me yet regarding their plan with the twins. Mike told her to lower her voice since someone could hear them, but Mill told him that the time was coming near and he needed to man up and talk to me. Mike told her that he was working on it and that it wasn't an easy conversation to have. Mill then told him that he needed to have this discussion before the twins were born, otherwise they wouldn't be able to give one of the twins to Kayla on time for her 27th birthday. She told him how he had already agreed to Sil's demands and had no way out since she had been looking forward to getting a child for months now. My eyes widened in shock as I processed these snippets of conversation I had overheard. My heart raced with a mix of disbelief and growing dread as the gravity of their discussion sank in. The realization hit me like a ton of bricks. They were discussing giving one of our twins away to my sister-in-law as a birthday gift. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. It felt like a punch to the gut. I stood there, frozen, as they continued to talk about their plans as if it were the most normal thing in the world. My mind raced with a million thoughts and emotions. Anger, hurt, sadness. But most of all, betrayal. I had thought my husband, Mill, and SIL were happy about our pregnancy, about our twins. But now I have realized that their happiness wasn't because of our growing family. It was because of their twisted plan to give away one of our babies. At that moment, I felt like I didn't even know my husband anymore. How could he betray me like this? How could he even consider giving away our child? Our babies were not gifts to be given away. They were our children, our flesh and blood. I waited patiently for them to finish their conversation as I didn't want to be caught, and then I slowly walked out of the washroom. I was shaking in fear and anger, however I held it together as best as I could in front of others. Since the baby shower, I have been racking my head to come up with a plan so I can escape this situation as fast as I can. I can't endanger my twins in the future. This family is crazy and I can't even trust my husband anymore. I want to scream at him every time I see him, but I am trying to pretend that all is well so I can work on my escape plan. However, because of my pregnancy hormones, I am a bit worried that I will be the asshole for leaving my husband without even asking for an explanation. I don't mind being a single mother, but should I give the father of my children a chance to explain himself before tearing apart the family? Update 1. Thank you everyone for your advice and suggestions. I read through all the comments and I have made up my mind now. I want to assure you that I will never let anyone take away my baby from me. I have reached out to my best friend of many years and I have asked for her help. She is as shocked as me that my husband could plan such a thing with his family. She has agreed to come and help me move my things so that I can live with her while I file for divorce from my husband. Tonight is the last night I will stay in the same house as Mike, and tomorrow I will leave without a note or an explanation because he doesn't deserve one. Update 2. It's been 2 weeks since my last update. I wanted to update everyone on what has happened since my last post. As I mentioned before, I made the decision to file for divorce from Mike after overhearing his conversation with his mother about their plan regarding our twins. It was a heartbreaking decision, but I knew it was the right one for me and my babies. With the help of my best friend, I gathered all my belongings and left our house while Mike was at work. It was a difficult and emotional moment when I walked out of the doors, as I never imagined a day would come when I would leave my husband. But I know I have to prioritize the safety and well-being of myself and my unborn children. I have since filed for divorce even though Mike has tried to reach out to me multiple times. I haven't blocked him as I do want to be cordial to him until the divorce is done. Since Mike has no idea that I overheard him with his mother, he has sent me several text messages accusing me of betraying him and how his family was right all along. I haven't sent him a single explanation because I know no matter what I say, he and his family will try to gaslight and manipulate me, so for now they can think whatever they want. The truth will come out during the divorce proceedings. I have blocked SIL and Mill, although I do feel a bit guilty about not answering Phil's calls. I have no idea whether he was involved in this plan or not, so I can't take any chances. I have spent the last few days just crying while my best friend has sat with me and never left my side. She has assured me that I am not a bad mother for leaving such a man and has tried to lessen my guilt. Since I will be a single mother from now on, I plan on going back to work as soon as I can. My best friend who works from home has agreed to babysit my twins when I do join the workforce. However, I have insisted on paying her for her time, as babysitting twins won't be easy. I know this isn't a solid plan and I wish I had reliable parents who could help me out in this citation, but unfortunately, I don't. Also, my best friend will only help me look after the kids until I can get my divorce from Mike, so then with the child support I can hire a proper nanny. I know it won't be easy, but I am determined to create a safe and loving environment for my twins. I am grateful for the support and encouragement I have received from all of you during this challenging time. Update 3. Hello everyone. It's been 6 months since my last update. A lot of things have happened since then. First of all, I have given birth already and now I'm the proud mother of my beautiful twins, Jackson and Vinny. I was so nervous before giving birth, but the moment I held my beautiful twins in my arms for the first time, all of my worries melted away. They are my everything, and I am glad that I took them away from that crazy family. My divorce from Mike was finalized, and despite his pleading, he was not granted custody of the children. He did find out during the proceeding exactly why I had left him, and he was shocked that I had found out about his plan. He tried to apologize, to explain himself, telling me how he was compelled and pressured by his family every day and how he had no choice, but I was further disappointed with his cowardice. It turns out that Phil did know about everything, and although he had tried to dissuade SIL and Mill, no one had listened to him. I am so disgusted by this family that I have felt no remorse since divorcing Mike. I didn't ask for a single penny for alimony, but he has agreed to pay a hefty amount for child support, which will be enough for me to provide the best for my children. Mill and SIL did try to get in touch with me and even showed up during the divorce proceedings, screaming and yelling at me for taking away the twins from them. They told me how they could have provided my children with everything and that I was a bad mother for being so selfish. In the end, they had to be restrained by the guards. I am glad that they embarrassed themselves publicly because it helped me get a restraining order against them. Since the divorce, Mike has tried to remain in touch with me, pleading for a chance to talk and reconcile. But I can never trust him again around my children. With the help of my best friend and a supportive network of friends and family, I've been able to navigate the challenges of single parenthood these past few months. Recently, I have made the decision to move out of the city entirely, as I want to create a fresh start for myself and my children, far away from the toxicity and manipulation of Mike's family. I know as long as I live in the same city they might try to get in touch with my twins, and I don't want that. With full custody of my twins, I have the freedom to build a new life wherever I choose, and I intend to make the most of that opportunity. Moving forward, I am going to be focused on myself and my babies, so there will be no